You know, think about the last time you bought something online. Maybe it was a pair of shoes, a new book, or just a phone charger. You clicked a button, the payment processed seamlessly, and a package showed up at your door a few days later. It's convenient, it's fast, and it's built entirely on trust. But what if I told you that the very same seamless e-commerce platforms you trust and use every single day are actually being weaponized? Right now, literally beneath the surface of millions of legitimate orders, transnational money launderers are using your favorite digital storefronts to wash billions of dollars of illicit cash.
It's kind of crazy, right? The irony is that the exact same features making online shopping so incredibly convenient for us, things like remote account setup, dizzying daily transaction volumes, and internet anonymity, well, they make it the ultimate disguise for criminal wealth. To a bank's monitoring system, a massive cartel washing money can look exactly like a small mom-and-pop business selling artisanal soaps.
So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're pulling back the digital curtain to explore the mechanics of money laundering in e-commerce marketplaces. We're going to break down exactly how organized criminals exploit the very digital commerce architecture that we all rely on.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the marketplace illusion, unpack the launderer's playbook, expose the refund loophole, see how they're building criminal networks, and finally, we'll look at stopping the machine.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the marketplace illusion.
Usually when we hear e-commerce crime, we picture a basic shopping scam, right? A thief stealing a buyer's money by just never delivering the goods. But marketplace laundering, it is a completely different beast. Here the target isn't you, it's the financial system itself. The buyer and the seller are actually in on it together. They're colluding to create a highly credible fake sale that essentially turns dirty money into clean, legitimate business revenue.
So how exactly do they do it? Let's crack open Section 2. The launderer's playbook.
This brings us to this wild concept investigators call the phantom transaction. It works like this. Step 1. A criminal seller lists a cheap or even a digital product online. Step 2. A connected buyer, someone in the same network, purchases it using dirty money. And Step 3. The seller ships an empty box. Why? Just to generate real tracking data. The platform takes its cut, which the criminals just view as a tiny convenience fee, and then deposits beautifully clean money right into the seller's bank account.
And honestly, it gets even crazier because they don't always just use empty boxes, they actually mix the dirty with the clean. In a real-world case intercepted by the U.S. Department of Justice, there was this sneaker retailer who sold authentic footwear for about 65% of their revenue. But they secretly blended in counterfeit and stolen shoes for the remaining 35%. By running the whole shebang through one established account, those illegal funds became practically invisible to the banks.
Okay, moving on to Section 3, the refund loophole. Now, before we get into refunds, we really have to talk about where this dirty money actually starts: stolen credit cards. Europol flags card-not-present fraud as a major evolving threat. Basically, criminals harvest stolen card data from phishing scams or massive data breaches. But they can't just wire the cash directly to themselves or they'd get caught instantly. Instead, they use these stolen details to remotely buy easily resellable items. We're talking luxury goods, laptops, gift cards. This creates a really critical layer of separation between the original digital theft and the cold, hard cash they eventually want to walk away with.
And here is where things get absolutely wild. They literally weaponize the refund button. So, after buying a luxury item with a stolen card, they request a refund, but they manipulate the system to route that cash to a new, criminal-controlled account. Sometimes they return an empty package and just keep the Rolex to resell later. Believe it or not, there are highly organized, specialized criminal groups operating online that offer refund services for a cut of the profits. It's literally outsourced customer service for fraudsters.
So, seeing how incredibly easy it is to manipulate just a single transaction or refund, we really have to ask ourselves, how does this fake commerce scale up? Why is this criminal model so dangerously efficient across the entire globe?
Well, that brings us to Section 4, building criminal networks.
Why does this work so seamlessly on a massive scale? There are 4 main reasons. First, the platform's branding creates instant trust for the banks. Second, the millions of daily, real transactions easily camouflage the fake ones. Third, massive fragmentation. I mean, the buyer could be in France, the bank in Germany, and the goods supposedly sitting in China. And finally, they share infrastructure. Criminals will actually buy aged seller accounts that already have 5-star reviews, just to completely bypass a platform's early life security algorithms. Now, to keep this whole fragmented, hard-to-trace network running, criminals rely heavily on what are called parcel mules. This is a fascinating and super critical piece of the puzzle. A parcel mule is someone, sometimes a willing participant, but often just an unwitting person tricked by a fake work-from-home job, who accepts these packages bought with stolen credit cards. They open them up, remove the invoices, peel off any identifying labels, and then ship the goods to another jurisdiction, usually directly to the criminal bosses. Mules are absolutely vital here because they create both physical and digital distance. They ensure that the criminal organizers pulling the strings are completely insulated from that original crime.
All right, so how do we actually fight back? Let's look at Section 5, Stopping the Machine. The Royal United Services Institute, or RUSI, actually sums up the core challenge perfectly with this quote: "No single participant can see the entire financial and commercial chain." Think about it for a second. A bank statement only shows a legitimate marketplace settlement. The bank has absolutely no idea if the box that shipped was full of rocks or a high-end laptop. On the flip side, the e-commerce platform sees a tracking number but doesn't have access to the seller's external bank accounts to see where the money eventually ends up. Everyone is operating in a silo, which completely hides the actual complex web of buyers, mules, and fulfillment centers.
So how do investigators piece it all together? They use a 5-layer control stack to pierce the veil. Layer 1 is rigorously verifying who actually owns the account. Layer 2 is flagging insane anomalies, like, say, a $500 pencil. Layer 3 is hunting for hidden links, like supposedly independent sellers sharing the exact same IP address. Layer 4 is blocking those shady refunds to unlinked accounts. And Layer 5 is physical intelligence. If a box is supposed to contain a 50-inch TV, does the package weight actually make sense? That is how they catch them.
To truly disrupt this, financial crime leaders literally have to move past those simplistic, automated rules. It demands a highly evidence-led approach. I mean, if a business claims to sell 10,000 televisions a month, investigators must verify if the physical delivery evidence actually supports that massive scale. They have to reconstruct the whole hidden network and identify the root crime to shut down the entire operation, rather than just playing a never-ending game of whack-a-mole with single disposable accounts.
Which really leaves us with a critical, undeniable challenge. E-commerce platforms have brilliantly made legitimate trade faster and more accessible for everyone. But as these networks become even more integrated, staying one step ahead of this hidden digital heist is going to require unprecedented collaboration between banks, platforms, and law enforcement. If a perfect digital receipt can be faked and a literal empty box can legitimize millions in dirty money, how do we secure the future of legitimate online trade? It's a question we all definitely need to be asking as we click checkout on our very next purchase.